Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this foundation batch physics class. So, as you everyone knows that what is the objective behind this foundation batch? The only objective behind this foundation batch is consolidating the foundation of each and every electrical and electronics engineer in this country. We want to teach you the basics that are required to understand engineering so that you can learn your core subjects better. So, my friend, if you are watching this video, make sure that you have pressed the like button because that is a way of marking your attendance, and make sure that you have shared the video with all your friends so that everyone can take the benefit of understanding the basics that are required for each and every student. Secondly, my friend, if you are watching this video for the first time, if you are coming to our channel for the first time, make sure that you hit the subscribe button and that bell icon, because we are providing amazing content right here every day from morning till evening. We are providing you the amazing content. So if you want to take that amazing content, if you want to crack GATE with the best rank, then you need to subscribe to this channel. So there are three things that everybody needs to do: like, share and subscribe. So now, my friend, let us start this session. Let me first introduce you myself if you don't know me yet. My name is Ankit Goyal. My name is Ankit Goyal and I am presently working as a director at Unacademy for GATE department. I myself got AIR 1 in GATE 2014 and 2018. Okay, and since I got AIR 1 in electrical engineering, I believe I am the best person or the most suited person to teach you the subjects of electrical engineering and to teach you engineering. How do we engineer something? So that is why, my friend, every day I am coming live on this channel to teach you some or the other thing in engineering. And my friend, I have also been awarded the President of India Gold Medal by the President himself when I graduated from IIT Indore in the year 2013. And till date, I have taught more than 1 lakh students in the online and the offline mode. So I have a rich teaching experience by which I understand your learning needs and I can fulfill them in the best way possible. Okay, and my friend, it is not good afternoon, it is good evening. Okay, and my friends, we have started a revolution on Unacademy where we are providing the most affordable education to each and every student in this country. Now the student from weak financial background, student in the remote part of the country can dare to dream. And this power has been granted to them by Unacademy. So Unacademy is unlike any other academy. It has everything that an academy has not. And it is enabling students to learn from each and every corner of the country from the best educators that can be made available, and that at the most affordable prices. If you want to be a part of this revolution, if you want to learn from the top educators in the country at the most affordable price, then you need to join Unacademy. And my friend, the doors of the Unacademy open with one code, that is Ankit ESC. This code directly brings you under my mentorship, my guidance, and lets you into the most amazing place that you can ever dream of, that is Unacademy. So you get 10% off, as well as you come under my guidance, you come under my mentorship if you use the code Ankit ESC. Now you will say, sir, when you are teaching on YouTube live, why should we join Unacademy? Because, my friend, Unacademy is not just about video lectures, it is an experience. Okay, it is an experience. So Unacademy provides you everything that is needed to get the best GATE rank, like previous year question, test series, weekly quizzes, daily practice paper, live classes, doubt solving session, everything. It will fulfill your each and every need. And now, my friend, since you can appear for GATE in more than one branch, Unacademy lets you access the lecture of each and every branch with just one payment, and that cannot be done by any other institute across the country. Okay, so that is the most amazing part of Unacademy, that you just have to pay once, and then every batch, every initiative that we launch, you will automatically be a part of that, like rank improvement batches, like crash courses, like live test, everything. You will be a part of everything by default just by making the payment once. Is that clear? Now guys, if you remember, yesterday we covered electric flux and I gave you a homework problem. We saw many problems based on electric flux, and one problem I specifically gave you to solve in the homework. Have you guys done it? Tell me in the chat section quickly. Has everybody done it? This was the question that I gave. This was the question that I gave. What it says? The cube as shown in the figure has a side of length 10 centimeter. The electric field is uniform and has a magnitude 4 into 10 to the power 3 Newton per Coulomb and is parallel to the xy plane at an angle 37 degree measured from the x-axis towards the y-axis. Okay. What is the electric flux through each of the 6 cube faces? Through each of the 6 cube faces, my friend, it is asking the electric flux. So, my friend, what is the electric field? Let me show you the electric field here. This is the x, y, z axis that is given in the problem. This should be z actually. The cube x, y, z or x, y, z. Okay. I think this should be z axis. Okay. As per the rule of cross product, this axis should actually be z axis. Now my friend, electric field is parallel to the xy plane at an angle 37 degree with the x-axis towards the y-axis. That means the direction of electric field is like this at an angle 37 degree. Now my friend, this electric field will cut S5, that is the front face. It will cut S4, that is the back face. My friend. Then it will not cut the top face or the bottom face. Why it will not cut the top or the bottom face? Because, my friend, electric field will go parallel to this. Like this. If it is going parallel to this, it is not actually cutting the top and the bottom plane. It is not actually cutting the top or the bottom plane. Is that point clear? Now let us see the area vector of the remaining faces. But before doing that, let me express electric field in x and y axis. So the x component of electric field is E cos 37. Every electrical and electronics engineer should know about this angle 37 degree. Cos 37 is 0.8. So Ex will be what is Ey? Sin 37, my friend, is 0.6. Okay. So this is the x and the y component of the electric field. So what you can say, my friend? 3.2 I cap plus 2.4 j cap into 10 to the power 3 Newton per Coulomb. Now let us see the area vectors of each and every face of the cube. Now, if you see the front face, S5 area vector, it will be 10 into 10 centimeters square. The direction will be outwards, that is I cap. If you see the area vector is coming outwards, that is I cap. So it will be. Then what about the back face S4? The back face area vector will be backwards. So S4 0.01 minus I cap. Then the right side S1, the area vector will be in the y direction. 0.01 j cap, then S, basically it is S3 actually, and it is S1. So this one is your S3. So the area vector of the left side is towards the left, that is S1. Now that we have all the area vectors and we have the electric field, we can find out the flux. Now if we go by physics definition, my friend, then what is the flux? E dot A. Okay, so first of all, phi. So it is I cap dot I cap will be 32. Okay, then phi 4 minus I cap means minus 32. Phi 3 0.01 j cap, so that is 24. Phi 1 minus j dot j is minus 1, minus 24, and through the remaining faces it is 0. Now my friend, if you take the total, the total will be 0. And the unit also, you can say the unit can be Newton meter square per coulomb. Newton meter square per coulomb. Is this understood to everybody? Okay, is this understood to everybody? If we went by engineering definition, then we will divide electric field, we will multiply electric field by epsilon to make D. Okay, you very well know, my friend, that the displacement vector or the flux density is epsilon E. It is epsilon E. And in engineering definition, we say that the flux is D dot A. So when we are talking about gate, remember that you will multiply area vector in D vector and not with E vector. Now, this is the next question. The first problem of today's DPP for you, my friend. Try this quickly. It is giving us the area vector and it is asking the flux of the uniform electric field if the electric field is given like this. I want answer from each and every foundation batch student. I want all your answer quickly. Everybody try this. Very, very simple problem just based on the basic definition of the flux. Let me see who can answer this. Let me see. Aja, tell me one thing. How many people were able to find the answer to the homework problem that I gave yesterday? But did you honestly got the answers that I told today? Did you guys get it? Okay, let me start solving this. So, when we talk about flux in A part, then I'll say 4I cap dot 2I cap plus 3J cap. So, it will be 8 Newton meter square per coulomb. Then what about phi in B part? 4K cap dot 2I plus 3J. I dot K and K dot J is 0. It is 0. Yes. Many people have correctly answered 8 and 0. Very good. Very good, everybody. Keep it up. Let's move to the next problem of this session. Try this. What it says, an electric field is given by 4I cap minus 3Y square plus 2J cap. This is the electric field. Pierces a Gaussian cube. Gaussian cube, I'll tell you later on when we study Gauss law tomorrow, of edge length 2 meter and positioned as shown in the figure. The magnitude of E is in Newton per Coulomb and position is in meter. We need to find the electric flux through the top, bottom, left and the back face. So let me number top face 1, bottom 2, left 3 and back face will be 4. And we need to find the net electric flux through the cube. Net electric flux through the cube. Let me see how many people can make it. It is similar to the problem I gave you in the homework. Now you guys must be able to solve this. Now everybody must be able to solve this. Quickly try this, everybody. I want answers from each and every student this time. Okay. Nobody should be sitting idle. Take out your pen and copy and find the answer to this. Let me see how many people are able to answer. Come on, guys. Okay, so let me start solving the problem. You can also solve alongside me. First of all, let me talk about the first area. In the first area, the area vector will be in j cap. For the fourth one, it will be in minus k cap. For the left one, minus I cap. Okay, and this one, minus j cap. So if I want to find out the area vector of surface 1, the area 2 meter edge length is there, so 4 meter square j cap. Area 2 minus 4 meter square j cap. Then area 3 minus 4 meter square I cap, and area 4, my friend, it will be minus 4 meter square k cap. Now what we need to find is the flux that can be obtained by the dot product of electric field and the area vector. So for area 1, the y height is fixed. For area 1, this height in terms of y is fixed. Okay. For area 1, y is actually equal to 2. So in this case, you can say what is the electric field? The electric field in this case is 4 I cap. If you put y equal to 2, 4 plus 2, 6. So minus 18 j cap. What about area 2? For area 2, y is actually 0. So if electric field you want to find, 4I minus 6j. Okay. For area number 3, y is variable. For area number 4 as well, y is variable. For area number 3 and 4, the y metric or the y parameter is variable. Okay. So here you will just say, is this clear to everybody? Where y is variable and where y is constant? Now my friend, if we find out phi 1, that is E vector dot area 1 vector. So I into j will be 0, j into j will be non-zero. So this will come minus 72. Is that clear? the dot product of this j with I will be 0. The dot product of j and I will be 0. And the dot product of j and j will be 1. Next, j dot I 0, j dot j will be non-zero. So for phi 2, E vector dot second area, it is minus 4 into minus 6, that is 24. This is the value. For the third case, I dot I will be non-zero and I dot j will be 0. So what you can say, phi 3 I dot I, it will come minus 16. It will come, my friend, minus 16. Phi 4. In phi 4, if you see, the area vector is k cap. So k dot I 0, k dot j, it will also be 0. So that means you can say it will be 0. Now what is the total flux? What is the total flux? Minus 72. Remember, flux is a scalar quantity. You can directly add it. Minus 88 plus 24. Is everybody getting the same answer? Tell me quickly. Minus 64 Newton meter square per coulomb. Okay. And now you guys understand how to take the area vector? Is everybody clear about it? Area vector is always taken outside the surface. Always taken outside the surface. ठीक है? एरिया वेक्टर मेरे भाई हमेशा बाहर की तरफ लेना, किसी बॉडी के अंदर की साइड मत लेना. Now, next question what we have? The electric flux through a surface of area 10 meter square lying in the xy plane. Electric field is given and area is also given. Quickly try this. I know all of you can solve this very easily. So try this, guys. Come on, everybody. Anybody with any answers? I'm looking for right answers. And guys, this batch is becoming very, very passive. Neither you guys are interacting, nor you guys are giving the answers. Why is that? Why is that, everybody? Why you guys are not active? Anantu is saying 100. Neelam, C. Let me see. Okay. So let me first draw the area that it is giving us. Suppose I take like this. Now the area is actually lying in the xy plane. The area is actually lying in the xy plane. This is the area. That means the area vector that, my friend, you will take will be in the z direction. So what you can say? The area vector, my friend, is 10 k cap meter square. 10 k cap meter square. Now when you want to find out the flux will be simply E dot A. Now k cap dot I cap will be 0, k cap dot j cap will be 0, k cap dot k cap will be 1. So 10 root 3. 17.32 Newton meter square per coulomb. So the answer would be C. The answer would be C. Okay. Now, try the next one, everybody. Try the next one. A ring of radius r is placed in the plane with its center at origin. Okay, this is the ring of radius capital R. Ring of radius capital R is placed in a plane with its center at origin and its axis along the x-axis. This vertical axis is the x-axis and having uniformly distributed positive charge. Another ring of radius r much less than capital R is coaxial with a larger ring and moving with a constant velocity. So it is coming down with a constant velocity. We need to plot the variation of electric flux. Electric flux passing through the smaller ring with respect to the position. Electric flux passing through the smaller ring with respect to the position. Now, my friend, let me solve this question for you. Let me solve this question for you. First of all, everybody tell me that suppose if we have a ring of radius r which has a charge q, what is the electric field at a distance x? What is the electric field, my friend? Okay, this we have derived already in the electric field topic. What is the electric field in this case? I believe each of you knows it. KQR, KQX, I think, by or we write it like this. Okay, what is K here? This. Okay, that is the case, correct? This is the formula. Am I correct or not? Quickly tell me. This is the formula for the ring. Is this or is this not? Now what it is saying is, it has placed a very small ring here. A very small ring here whose radius is small r and it is moving with a velocity v. Now this radius small r is much less than capital R. This radius small r is much less than capital R, my friend. Then what happens? What you can say is that we assume electric field is constant throughout small ring. Okay, my electric field is constant throughout the small ring. Why? Because its radius is so small that you can assume that the electric field will be same throughout the ring. That means how can you say the flux varies? You can say the flux varies as like this. Electric field into area. Correct? Now we have to plot the variation of this flux with respect to distance. This flux with respect to distance, my friend. Now, how does this variation look like? So it will look something like this. Why I have drawn like this? You will say, sir, you have directly drawn the function. Yes, my friend. Why? First of all, what you can observe that at x equal to 0, the flux would be 0. Okay. Now, as x tends to infinity, again the flux would be 0 due to denominator. Okay, so now the value of flux at 0 and infinity will be 0 and it will be non-zero between the two limits. It will be non-zero between the two limits. So that is why the flux first increases, then decreases, then passes through 0, then again decreases and tends to 0. ठीक है, पहले फ्लक्स बढ़ेगा, जैसे जैसे रिंग पास आएगी फ्लक्स बढ़ेगा, ओरिजिन पे आके 0 हो जाएगा, फिर रिंग दूर जाना शुरू करेगी. देखो दो पॉसिबिलिटी बन सकती हैं. फर्स्ट द रिंग इज कमिंग टूवर्ड्स द बिगर रिंग, the second the smaller ring is moving like this. So here the flux increases and here the flux decreases, and the flux itself is in opposite direction. Okay, the flux itself will be in opposite direction. Is that clear, my friend? So the correct answer would be C. The correct answer would be C. Is this understood? Just we have drawn the graph of this function, then based on the direction we have taken the sign. Is it clear? Okay. So let's move on to the next one. Let's move on to the next one. It says figure shows in the cross section three solid cylinder, each of length L and uniform charge Q. With each cylinder is a cylindrical Gaussian surface. With all the three surfaces having the same radius, rank the Gaussian surface according to the electric field at any point on the surface. Jyoti, SSC JEE classes are already running on our YouTube channel, Unacademy SSC JEE. Just search Unacademy SSC JEE. Complete syllabus is being covered on YouTube. Just go there. For electrical, mechanical, civil, we are providing for all the three branches. Okay, and my friend, if any of you wants to be a part of the revolution that we have created on Unacademy, just don't hesitate and call on this number. Just call on this number. Okay, this last digit is actually 9. Okay. Now, anybody with the answer? Now, let me tell you. This question, one principle that you have to remember. While finding E outside the cylinder, we assume a line charge at axis of cylinder. Okay, we assume one line charge at the axis of the cylinder, my friend. So now, if you take a line charge here, so what is the electric field at a radius r? You will say, sir, it is lambda by, basically, lambda by 2 pi epsilon r, or you can say q by, okay. Similarly, still the distance is same. No matter how much you increase the radius of the cylinder, the electric field will come out to be same, because we will assume one line charge passing through the axis of the cylinder. This principle you have to remember. And the answer will be D. So when you find out the electric field due to a charged body outside the body, you assume all the charge is concentrated at the center. Okay, This we will derive in Gauss law as well. Don't worry about it. But this is something that you can remember for the rest of your life. This is something that you can remember for the rest of your life. And it is definitely going to help you a lot. Okay. Even in engineering, it will help you a lot. Now try the next one. A similar kind of a question, but a little bit different. Try this. Try this, guys. I know all of you can solve this. So try this once. It says the figure shows 4 solid spheres, each with a charge uniformly distributed throughout its volume. The figure also shows a point P. All are at the same distance from the center. Rank the spheres according to the magnitude of electric field. Yes, Neelam, it is same as the shell theorem. You are absolutely right. And Anurag, you are saying if the radius of the ring is comparable. Yes, then electric field would not be constant, Anurag. Then you cannot directly find out the function of the flux and you cannot plot it directly. Okay, then you cannot plot it directly. Then at each point in the ring, you will have to find the electric field separately, then integrate. So it will be a very tedious process. Now, tell me the option that is correct in this. Tell me the option, guys, which is correct in this. Gayatri is saying A. Gayatri is telling A. Okay. What about others, guys? What about others? So let me tell you. When we are finding the field outside the sphere, assume a point charge at the center of a sphere. When you are locating outside. Now it is saying this distance is same. So in both the cases, you will get Q by 4 pi epsilon R square. Here also Q by 4 pi epsilon R square. But in the third and the fourth case, the point P lies inside the sphere. Lies inside the sphere. Now let me say it is R3. It is R4. Now my friend, R3 is definitely less than R4. So the volume charge density. So the volume charge density in 3 and the volume charge density in 4. Which one would be higher? Tell me quickly. If we compare the volume charge density in 3 and 4, which one would be higher? The higher one would be rho 3. The higher one would be rho 3. Rho 3 will be greater than rho 4. It will be greater than rho 4. So now my friend, when rho 3 will be greater than rho 4, in that case, the charge inside this sphere of radius r it is volume charge density into volume. That is the charge inside, and here again this distance is r. So what is the charge inside? Now my friend, we can easily say Qi3 is greater than Qi4, and since the charge is larger, electric field will also be larger, so the answer would be A. Simple. If the charge that is lying inside is larger, the electric field will also be larger, and you will understand the direct proportionality between them when we will study the Gauss law. In Gauss law, I'll explain you this. Okay. So remember one thing. I can also tell you, you can write it down as well. Whenever we are finding the electric field outside a charged body, we assume that the entire charge is lying at the center of that body. Okay. It may be a cylinder, in which case you will consider a line charge. It may be a sphere, in which you will consider a point charge. स्फीयर में पॉइंट चार्ज लोगे सेंटर पे, सिलेंडर में लाइन चार्ज लोगे सेंटर पे. Try the next one, guys. Try the next one. Come on, everybody. Try this problem. In the figure, a hemispherical ball is shown of radius r. Electric field is present perpendicular to the cross section. We need to choose the correct option. And remember, here I can have more than one correct option. So be careful. Be careful by choosing. I can have more than one correct answer. Try this. Okay, let me see how many of you can answer this correctly. Quickly, everybody. Come on, tell me, everybody. What will be the correct answer? Anurag is saying A and D. Let me see. So what I have told you yesterday itself, that whenever you have a hemispherical surface, then you take the projection of the area perpendicular to the field. What is that projection, my friend? That projection is this one. This area. This area is actually perpendicular to the field. In this case, the flux will be electric field into pi r square. So what I am saying is, the projection of hemispherical shell, the projection of hemispherical shell perpendicular to field is disk of area pi r square. Okay. Now, in this case, the electric field passes along that surface, So the answer would be A and D. A and D. Okay. If the electric field was cutting this surface, then it will be E into pi r square. If it is passing along that surface, then the flux would be 0. Flux would be 0. Is this point understood? Okay. So many people correctly answered. Navneeta, Himanshu, Anurag all gave the correct answer. Very well done, guys. So guys, if you have this much knowledge, you can proceed to the Gauss law and you can understand it better. But if you don't know the basic of the electric flux, then directly telling you the Gauss law is of no use, because you don't actually understand what is Gauss law. So unless you are able to visualize Gauss law in your mind, you can't understand it. Okay, for that, flux and the electric field lines need to be understood. So my friends, this will be all from this lecture, but tonight at 10:30, I am coming live to tell you the 6-month preparation strategy for final year student on this channel only at 10:30. Now, if any of you wants to join an academy, just simply give a call on this number. Very simple number. Just give a call and make sure that you download the Unacademy Learning app, because daily from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. I am taking signals and systems questions daily. So download Unacademy Learning app and attend my free classes of signals and system. And if you want to join Unacademy, click on Gate ESE, click on Get Subscription, then choose this plan. This plan, 1-year plan, is for the final year and the droppers, and 2-year plan is for 2nd or the 3rd year student. Okay, and make sure that you use the code Ankit ESE, because this code directly brings you under my guidance, and under my guidance I believe you can do very well in GATE. And yes, Anurag, network and EMT are very necessary for electrical. Now, you can pay by credit, debit card, net banking, EMI on credit card, EMI on debit card as well, HDFC and which one? Bajaj Finserv. But make sure you use the code Ankit ESE. So Navneeta, I am taking questions of signals and system. And these are some of my videos, my friend, that have really went viral on this channel, which you can watch and understand how to crack gate. And similarly, tonight I'll be taking a session at 10:30 in which I'll be telling you how to crack gate in 6 months for final year students. And these are the other channels that we have for mechanical, civil, CS and SSC JE. Here we are providing JE and AE classes for electrical, mechanical, civil. And we have one channel for previous year question, Unacademy GATE question, as well as we have a channel for computer science. Now my friend, this is my Telegram channel where I upload the notes of each and every lecture. And this is my Unacademy profile which you guys can follow to attend my free lectures live. Okay. Now, so that will be all from my side, guys. And I'll see you soon at 10:30 to discuss the preparation strategy. Thank you, everybody.